Started.
What is up, folks? Ncaa 31 here, bringing you NCAA 12 Online Dynasty. This is Season 2 of the NCAA 12 Legacy Online Dynasty Season Opener. UConn versus NC State, user versus user game. Fun stuff. I love these online leagues. I love playing in online leagues, regardless of what sports game I'm in. That's where, the fun and the competition is at. You're always playing against good competition and against guys that don't, do nonsense, and guys who play with brains. So when you get the W, you earn it. That's what makes this fun. This is when these games are very fun, because if I played ranked games all the time, I think I'd lose my mind. But anyway, I think the second season of Online Dynasty in NCAA 12 is always the hardest, because you lose that first batch of players and you have to replace them with at a program like UConn or NC State, a lesser tier program with 3 and sometimes 2-star recruits initially. So I find myself a little bit thin in Season 2 as opposed to Season 1 depth-wise, where I took over this team about halfway through the season. I joined this OD halfway through Season 1. If you remember, I upset Cincinnati, who was number 2 in the BCS rankings, and robbed them of a chance to play for the national championship, and won my bowl game. So I had a good Season 1 with these guys, and Season 2 I'm a little bit thin. It's one of those seasons where I'm just short on everything that I need. Like, I have 1 or 2 less receivers that I would like, 1 or 2 DBs less than I would like, a linebacker short, things like that. But hey, that happens. Sometimes you just gotta reload the old cupboard. And I'm doing something different in this one. I'm running the air raid offense in this Online Dynasty, just to change things up a little bit. No other reason than that. I'm using Houston's playbook. That's one of my favorite air raid playbooks, along with BYU and Arizona sometimes. And as you can see, running the air raid spread no huddle style. Pretty much because I feel like I have to. I have one very good tight end, a couple of decent receivers, and 1 mediocre receiver. I don't have much of a ground game. I have exactly 1 running back on my roster, backed up by a fullback and a tight end, and I have a decent dual threat QB. He's like 84 speed, decent acceleration. He's got like 88 arm strength and 82 accuracy, and he's a junior, so he's not too shabby. So I figure, he's going to have to be the guy that makes everything go as far as generating a running game as well, which I don't really particularly like. And the one problem I have with the air raid and the spread is that the spread playbook I know the best is Notre Dame's, but generally speaking, none of the spread playbooks have enough of the passing plays that I like, and none of the air raid playbooks have enough of the, spread option type plays that I like. So I'm going to have to put my head to work and come together with a custom playbook that kind of blends the two. That's going to be my next little project here. But anyway, let me talk about the air raid a little bit. You guys know that I'm a run and shoot fan. I'm also a flex bone fan, but I also like the air raid as well. I ran the air raid pretty much exclusively in NCAA 11 last year, because I didn't really feel that I could run the run and shoot to its fullest capacity in NCAA 11 because of the overpowered man press mirroring, man coverage route mirroring. I felt like the offense. I basically was running the offense pretty much like an air raid offense to begin with. So why not just run the air raid full time? So, you know, this year I've been more back to the run and shoot since I feel like the game is much more balanced between man and zone coverage. But, you know, the air raid is still a good offense to run if you're a guy who likes to throw the football around. But, you know, what are the differences and similarities between the air raid and the run and shoot? Well, as far as similarities go, they're both obviously offenses that are geared towards the pass. It's a pass-first offense. If you're looking for a offense, an air raid playbook that gives you a balanced pro-style look, you're going to be kind of limited. You're going to be limited to probably BYU, Arizona, those two, and maybe Oklahoma State, because you can have a little bit of a pistol running game from that playbook. But it's a pass first, pass second, you know, run the football as a change-up offense. You know, the running game is your change-up. The passing game is your fastball. And the deep passing game is your out pitch. And that brings me to the differences between the air raid and the run and shoot. The run and shoot is a bit more vertical. It's designed to get down the field. It's designed to, you know, combinate and switch routes on the fly to, you know, one, confuse safeties and deep backs. And also, the premise of the run and shoot is that no matter what the defense does, you're going to have a space to throw the ball somewhere. Against zone, receivers will run to spots and change their routes. Against man, you do the same thing and run away from man coverage. The air raid's passing game is a little bit more in the West Coast mode. It's a short passing game, and the short passing game pretty much acts as a running game, so to speak. It's ball control passing, short stick passes, shallow crosses. You see shallow crosses and stick routes littered all through the air raid playbooks. Mesh, mid-screen, flanker screen, bubble screen. I just recently learned how to run the bubble screen properly, so I've added that to my arsenal as well, which gives you another tool to put in your toolbox. I'll get into that also in a later video when I go back to getting into the air raid phase of the of my flex shoot playbook. But the offense is much more horizontal in its passing game as compared to the run and shoot. The run and shoot is much more down the field and vertical. Another difference is formation variety. Run and shoot is 4 wide all the time. 4 wide spread, 4 wide split, 4 wide trips, and that's really pretty much it. Either from a shotgun, well, mostly from the shotgun these days, but, you know, shotgun under center. You don't really see too much double slots anymore the way I run it, but basically the run and shoot is very basic formation-wise. You're either 4 wide, 2x2, or 4 wide trips. Air raid, you know, you obviously have a tight end, you have shotgun pro sets, you have your under center formations and whatnot. So you have a much more diverse range of formations. So those are probably the 2 main differences. Also, obviously, you're not dealing with as many, you know, option routes as you have in the run and shoot. You don't have, you know, the 60 series in the run and shoot, for example. You do have some option route principles in the air raid from time to time. Like, for example, in some mesh plays, receivers will have the option to either sit down if they or continue dragging their route across the field. The idea being, if you're running a mesh play and you recognize zone coverage, you run to a spot and sit there. If it's man, you just keep on running. And the idea of the offense is to get the defense to creep up on all of those short routes, which set up the deeper route combos like follow, smash, double post, 4 verts, Y cross, Y corner. It's really a very, very good offense. Unfortunately, in this game, I should have entitled this video, How to Roll Up 450 Yards of Total Offense and Only Score 1 Touchdown. I kind of bogged down here in the red zone on 3 possessions and had to settle for field goals. Also had a couple of turnovers. And as you can see, that's the difference in the game right now. But make no mistake, you can move the ball. And again, I'm still trying to figure out how I want to play with this team, so I'm still working out the kinks a little bit early in the season. And, you know, hopefully I can get those red zone clunkers out of my system. But that's basically a little air raid 101. The type of receivers that you look for in the air raid offense is similar to what you would look for in the run and shoot. Your outside receivers are your bigger, faster, jump ball, vertical threats. Your slot receivers are your Wes Welker type receivers. Wes Welker played at Texas Tech, and he was your, you know, prototype H or Y. You know, running those bubbles and running those shallow crosses and sticks. So you obviously want high route running, good hands, and good yard after the catch skills. And as far as your QB goes, you know, your typical high accuracy QB. Arm strength isn't really as important since the routes aren't as deep, generally speaking. But, you know, you kind of want to have a quarterback that can get the ball to the spots you need to get it and get the job done. And if you use a dual threat type, you know, even better, because you have a read option game, and many of the air raid playbooks have, you know, a QB draws and QB blast type of plays as well. So that's that for this game. Got a couple more that I need to cook up. And also, I got to get cracking on opening up Battlefield 3. I got the game, but I haven't taken it out of the bag yet. So I got to get going on that. But I'll post some impressions on that game as well. So hope you guys enjoy, and I'll talk to you all later. Peace.
McCombs takes a handoff. He makes his way to about the 45.
Gain of 13 yards. First down.
Got him on the screenplay. And down he goes at the 36-yard line. Oh, and he had some steam on that throw. And he's tackled in the open field. Here's the option. Tackled after a decent pickup. Dangerous throw. This one's picked off.
That is exactly the kind of play you want to.
Takes it left side, and he's brought down in the backfield. Couldn't get that additional yard. And he's tackled right away. And they finally push him out at the 3. Throws a strike over the middle. And for Griffin, that's another catch, and that puts him at 100 yards for the game.
If you can get open and hold on to the passes, chances are you're going to have a good game. And that's exactly what this guy's been able to do today.
Hands it off, and he's in for the score. Well, there's still... Throws for the touchdown, and it's going to be an interception. He brings it all the way back, and that'll be 2 points the other way. So with less than a minute... And down he goes, the 39-yard line.
It hasn't gone their way today.
And the ball game's over. And our final score in this one, North Carolina State 33, Connecticut 15.